So in today's video, I wanted to talk about how modern dating now, specifically when it comes to modern dating and taking women out on dinner dates, should no longer be going on due to how women nowadays, modern women that is, modern women as in women between the ages of, I would say, the early 20s something age bracket all the way up until the early to late 40s age bracket, due to how women, so many modern women now do all they can to finesse men on dinner dates. Some women who may happen to come across as very financially stable, however, may still expect for men to not only pay for the dinner dates, but pay so much money, so many hundreds, in some cases thousands of dollars. Anyways, to prove my point, I'm going to show two different posts, one being the real and then the other one being the post, on how modern women are going to extreme lengths to finesse men on dinner dates, and why I feel like men shouldn't vouch to take women on dinner dates, that is, anymore. Modern men within the same age bracket shouldn't vouch to take modern women out on dinner dates anymore, just so they could be able to get lucky with those women nowadays. Listen to this. Now, believe it or this is, I don't know how true this is, but this here guy claimed, after seeing this here thumbnail or screenshot, whatever you like to refer it as, he claims to, and if this is true, because this is very unheard of. If you look at the very bottom of this here dinner receipt, and I'm assuming a 5-star restaurant, 5-star fine dining restaurant, look at these ridiculous charges. The grand total equal out to $44,000. I mean, what restaurant, even if it was at a supposedly fine dining / 5-star restaurant, what dinner do you still know of that would equal out to this much money? I mean, this is the same amount of money as the average vehicle, the average new vehicle usually in the U.S. But then again, some vehicles in the U.S. cost even more than this amount. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. If this is an actual receipt, which it seems to be an itemized receipt as a result of going out to a fine dining / 5-star restaurant, this should be in a Guinness Book of World Records for paying the most money on behalf of going on a dinner date. I mean, this is just utterly ridiculous. But look at these charges. And this on behalf of, listen to this, the caption says, woman faces backlash on Facebook after her date pays over $44,000+ on a dinner date just for her to be on her phone the whole time with very little convo and an attitude. I'm assuming with a stank attitude or a bad attitude. The man says he's surprised. Woo! Thoughts on this one dating. Yeah, I wanted to say how, on behalf of how some guys are fool enough to be willing to take modern day women out on dates, because this here female appears to be somewhere in her 20s. See, this is why more men need to be more wiser and careful in getting to know modern day women, especially within her age bracket. Like I said, she appears to be somewhere in her 20s, due to how so many women now, especially women within this here age bracket, are always doing all they can to finesse men, and always either add insult to injury. They feel like due to them being fairly attractive, or in some instances extremely attractive, and don't let them be extremely attractive and shapely when a very nice shape at the same time, This is the same exact kind of mentality that women of that caliber seem to have. Anytime a man may meet a woman of that caliber, well, for some of you guys who may make a habit out of dating women and meeting women on online dating apps, expect anytime you may come across a woman such as this woman here in the picture or thumbnail, expect for her to go out of her way to be extremely arrogant. Expect for her to emote, not all the time, but most of the time, due to how so many women of this here caliber always have such arrogant and nasty attitudes. Expect for her to also be going by just because of her physical appearance, you to go out of your way to cater to her, to have a female entitlement mentality, and for you to turn your pockets inside out for her, so to speak. I'm just giving you some free game for all my fellas who love making a habit out of meeting women on online/dating apps, because the women of nowadays are way worse than they were. That is, especially within this age bracket, as opposed to when I was in that same age bracket within my 20s. Because for one, when I was in my 20s, we didn't have social media like we have nowadays. We haven't had any dating apps, only online chat rooms for the most part. So the dating game has taken a turn for the worse. So much to the point where there are quite a bit of men saying how there's no use in dating anymore in this modern day area. And I can't blame them, especially on behalf of how this female clearly got over on this man. If this is actually true, if he was that big of a fool enough to spend this much money on a woman who he hardly knew, who wanted to hardly get to know him, who mainly just wanted a free meal based upon her physical appearance. Anyways, let me stop sharing this screen and share another screen. So I want to also share you this actual encounter. Well, it's not an actual encounter. I just show it to you and explain what I mean. Now let me turn up the volume.
She paid me no attention, bro. She played over the fucking food. You know what I'm saying? That's her second plate, bro. Second plate of food.
Now, listen to this. The caption says, man spends $489 on first date, and she stayed on FaceTime with a guy named Larry the whole date. Was he wrong for leaving and making the other man pay the bill?
She on FaceTime with another dude, bro. First date, bro. Look. You can't make this shit up, bro. Whole date. Look at this shit. What do you mean? You say hey to me while you don't FaceTime with him? You been FaceTime with this guy since me and you been on the date. You been FaceTime with another guy. So I'm being rude.
You're being rude. Y'all. Packing my shit up and I'm going.
That's me. Don't even know. I got the keys to the car. I drove up here on the date, but she's still walking around just chilling. She is tripping, bro. She's having fun with this dude on this FaceTime. Y'all see this show? Oh, man. I'd be wrong if I don't pay for the food right. So, really, we've been on a date. For what? 2 hours, you've been on the phone with this guy. The whole time you've been on FaceTime. And you gonna get off the phone?
You don't even know who I'm talking to.
Doesn't matter. You over here just having fun on the phone. You dancing with the dude. You showing the dude's heart. Y'all singing together. And why would you be on a date with me singing to another dude? What sense does that make? I mean, I know we just met or whatever, but why would you
just... because I don't know
like
you and I know who I'm on FaceTime with.
It don't matter. Ain't that kind of like a disrespect, don't you think?
Disrespect? To be on FaceTime?
If I was on FaceTime with another girl, wouldn't that be crazy while we're on a date?
I mean, you went to the bathroom.
That's how much attention you paid to me. Now you finna get an Uber home. How about that? Now you finna be Uber home.
That's fine. Baby,
yeah, okay.
You can pick me up.
Oh, yeah. Baby, yeah.
Now, I just want some of you to know this was actually a skit. Although, and even if it was a skit, because the handles, the people who actually posted this go by the handle of Showtime, underscore time, ATL, and all lowercase letters, and then Mimi dot Nichelle, who happen to be some pretty popular content creators. Now, even if this did happen to be a skit, made up, it still applies to the current dating scene. And for some of my guys who may have actually experienced this, guys, like I stated earlier, who have a habit of meeting women online and arranging to take women on dates, especially dates like this, dinner dates, or even lunch dates. How many of you have been finessed? Once again, even if this was a skit, but how many of you actually had this happen to you in real life, and you have to be so heartbroken by it? You went out of your way to first and foremost, text a woman who you may happen to hit it off when online and vice versa, only to arrange to finally meet up with her in person and take her out on a date at a restaurant where there may have been either a casual dining restaurant or a fine dining restaurant, and only to go out of your way to spend so many hundreds of dollars for her. I'm just saying, if this actually happened, has actually happened to you, and then while being on a date with her completely ignoring you, her completely, or if not ignoring you throughout the whole conversation, maybe talking, responding back to whatever question you had to ask her, but having a snobby attitude or an arrogant attitude happening to have an entitled, snobby / arrogant attitude, to the point where you pretty much had in mind giving up taking women out on dinner dates. And this is why I say men should no longer start taking women or attempt to keep on taking women out on dinner dates. Women who they barely know from a can of paint. Women who for the most part may want usually a free meal, only to ghost the guys right after the dates. And then not only ghost the guys, but end up blocking the guys right after the date. From blocking your phone number from out of their phones to blocking you completely on social media. Although nowadays some of us men are so thirsty and so crazy and psychotic to the point where even if we may have had a bad experience when a woman, after taking her out on a date, only to find out she may have blocked us on social media, some of us would go as far, believe it or not, as creating a whole different profile name so we could still be able to stalk that woman online. This just goes to show you how mentally disturbed some of us men could be, and then on the same time, in the same breath, how thirsty some of us men could be. Anyways, and like always, make sure to like, share, comment, last but not least, subscribe. And until next time, I'm out.